My guest today is Wesley Kirk, a local artist and founder of the grassroots group Support Fort Worth Art. So Wesley, right now there is a task force that is looking into making recommendations on the fate of the Fort Worth Community Arts Center, and you're following it very closely. You're doing a lot of public advocacy to get the word out. Before we talk about what your thoughts are, just describe the process that got us to this point.
So the Fort Worth Community Arts Center is one of the only city-owned art spaces that's like a vital resource for every artist in the community. But the problem is that it's owned by the city, but they're not covering the maintenance. And so because of that, the last time they gave a significant amount of money was like 20 years ago. And so now the city the building at Community Arts Center, it's at 1300 Gendy Street. It needs about $30 million worth of repairs just to get it back up to code.
Okay.
And so when the city found that out, they were like, all right, well, let's create this task force, the 1300 Gendy task force, to take a look at everything and make a recommendation on what we should do with it. And so that recommendation came in today at 1 o'clock to City Council. And there was only one public meeting, and it was honestly the best attended public meeting I've ever seen.
Okay.
There were 300 people who spoke for like 3 hours, so passionately and unanimously about how vital what Arts Fort Worth and Kids Who Care are doing in the Fort Worth Community Arts Center, and how desperately that needs to stay. And it got me so motivated and so passionate, but then it feels like it fell on deaf ears, because what the task force decided to go with wasn't to renovate the building and keep everything that's great. They chose to recommend redeveloping it into something new. And what that could be could literally be anything, because the request for proposal that they recommended, all the things that the community wants, it's only listed as preferred in the so it could be a parking lot, it could be a hotel, it could be a restaurant, it could be something awful, or it could be something great. Mm-hmm. It could be, we could keep getting the gallery spaces, we could keep getting, proscenium theater, black box theater. We could also, on top of what we already have, we could get art classrooms and art library. We could get all sorts of amazing things that
our city deserves.
Exactly,
yeah.
Absolutely deserve. So I'm trying to remain hopeful about it and just let everyone know what's happening and how their voice will make all the difference in what we end up with.
Well said. So what's happening tonight, and what can folks do moving forward to get involved? Because it's not over yet.
No.
Okay.
So today, like I said, the task force made their recommendation to the city. A week from today, Tuesday, June 13th at 6 p.m., City Council will vote on that recommendation. And so the purpose of the meeting tonight is to inform everyone on what's been going on with the task force, how we got into this situation, and where we can go with it. And also to teach people how to sign up to speak at City Council, because it's not an easy process, and sort of get our talking points together. So we're speaking with a unified voice on what the community is demanding that the city do, that the city needs to support art. We need to provide art spaces and opportunities for emerging artists, because without that, the whole art scene could crumble.
Yes. There are some people, probably not us, who would argue that private business is our savior. We can do a private-public partnership. That's a word that gets thrown around a lot. What's the danger when our institutions that were formerly public are privatized or semi-privatized?
So there's already a shortage of art spaces in Fort Worth, but there's a massive shortage of community art spaces where you can create art and performances and experiences that aren't driven by profit. And so because of that, you see some of the most creative, inspiring, civically minded art that you can't see anywhere else. And that's only available because it's accessible, inclusive, and equitable, which aren't guarantees in a public-private partnership.
Yes.
Their goals are very different from the community goals, and I understand why people think that's possible, why that's needed, but it's also more needed that the city invest in art and artists, because it creates a thriving, vibrant city that people want to live in and be a part of, and come visit too. Like, the economic impact of the arts is no joke.
We know that, yeah.
And if the city isn't taking an active role in helping those emerging artists to build that arts and to build that creative culture, then who else will? You can't always trust public-private partnerships to do the right thing for the community. That's why the city needs to do it.
And it's interesting that the city uses the arts for its marketing. And this is a moment where the city can do something to actually do something positive for the future of the arts, so we hope we make the right decision. I've enjoyed this conversation. Plug your social media. Where can folks go to find more information? You have a really good Instagram page with good information. Go ahead and plug that.
Yeah, so if you follow Support Fort Worth Art on Instagram and Facebook, I'll be posting updates throughout this entire process. Because even after the city council approves it, the community will have to stay involved to see what kind of proposals developers come up with, and we need to make sure that it reflects what the community wants. And also, if you go speak at city council in support of the arts, you can get a free Support Fort Worth Art shirt.
Awesome, there you go. Well, Wesley, thanks for what you do in your volunteers. We appreciate you being a voice for the arts. It gives us our city vibrancy, gives us something to write about. I mean, it's just almost too important to try to describe. So folks, get involved, and at least follow the Instagram page and follow what they say. So thanks for your time, Wesley.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Yeah.